Hey everybody, I'm live. I'm sorry I'm late. I have not been feeling well at all. I have a terrible headache and even my hands are a little numb. So as many of you know, I was assaulted. I had a terrible injury, brain injury and back injury. And I experienced numbness for many months and had a lot of problems. And I don't know, the last few days I've been more forgetful than normal. And my head hurts right in my lower skull. That's where it used to hurt back then. I had a whiplash and concussion and just general brain issues. So that's why I'm late. That's why I have no makeup on or my hair brushed. But at least I took a shower. I'm just going to be here in case somebody tunes in. Probably don't have anything to say except for, yeah, having a brain injury is very similar to chemical sensitivity. You know, it's a lot of the healing is the same. Doing actually meditation, red light therapy, getting a lot of nutrients, eating a lot of fats, very amazing for your brain. Yeah, this guy attacked me and he got away with it. He was 280-pound jiu-jitsu purple belt. And I am half that weight and I don't do jiu-jitsu. I do Muay Thai. But anyway, it was a setup in my gym and he attacked me. And in Washington, D.C., if you get beat up in your martial arts club, there is no crime. So even though it was just after a weird conversation, anyway, I got very hurt. He tackled me full on power. People actually can't understand how bad it was. Probably a lot like chemical sensitivity. People cannot really relate to how bad it was because nobody can imagine a huge man like that attacking me with his full weight like that. People don't even believe it. But it was really like being hit by a car. It was intense. And if I had not been studying so much, about the brain, I'm sure I would not be having this much of a coherent conversation at the moment. So I did a lot of the same things. I guess we'll talk about brain healing and see if anybody shows up. Brain healing. Red light therapy is amazing. Before I ever had red light therapy, though, I did yoga, meditation, and anything to retrain my thoughts. Meditation is good because you're teaching your mind to focus. And when you're teaching your mind to focus, you're creating new neural pathways. You're creating a better brain. So even if you're terrible at meditation, which I still to this day, I'm not that good at it. I do a listening meditation. I do other kinds of meditation, which I am good at other kinds of meditation. I can do shamanic meditation. I can do visualizations. I can do self-hypnosis, but just the straight up not thinking meditation is very difficult for me. I have a very fast and active mind, but I do practice it. And I hadn't practiced it for a while. I got so much better, so much faster after my brain injury. I was doing Wim Hof breathing every day, which is also amazing for the brain. I was doing some sound therapy with these copper bowls and yoga, meditation, eating all the good fats, mushroom powder. So I was doing so good that I really kind of let up on it. So probably need to go back and really supercharge the brain. What else is good for your brain? So healing your brain is going to heal every part of your body, especially if you have multiple chemical sensitivity, because that's very largely an illness, which definitely the brain is a part of if you are sensitive to neurotoxic chemicals. So, yeah, or if you have brain fog, which is a huge symptom of multiple chemical sensitivity and mold, illness, a lot of illnesses, we have brain fog. I got rid of my brain fog several years ago. I don't really have brain fog now, except for today. I have the worst headache, and it's all back in here, and that's where my head used to hurt back when I was having trouble, and my hands and feet were numb for quite a while. So my nervous system really got a hard hit. I think I should go back to acupuncture. Very good for the brain, very good for the nervous system. Because when they work on these meridians, they're working to get the energy flowing, and also they can do special points in your brain. What are the chances of getting HIV from an HIV positive person? Well, I'm no HIV expert. I don't know what the chances are. Hi, Bill Gates. I really don't know. But I do know that we do encounter different kinds of viruses and illnesses, and if our immune system is stronger, we have a less chance of contracting them. Also depends on what you're doing with that person. If you're just friends with them, I think the chance is 0. You have to be in more intimate contact. I'm no expert on that. But, you know, if somebody did have a contact, like if that did happen to me, I would go do like crazy vitamin C, oregano oil, breathing, meditation, anything that my body would put my body in the most strong position at that moment, so that my body's going to be fighting off if there was a virus or something that would come in. The thing about viruses, I don't want to talk too much about viruses. I'm afraid of getting my channel taken down because this present day situation is very intense with the censorship and whatnot. But so it's called viral load. Like I go outside, my friend is sick, she coughs on me. Normally I'm not going to get sick. Maybe I'll get a little bit of the virus. Then my body fights that virus off, processes it. Maybe it retains a few little bit of viruses. Maybe it doesn't. But, you know, if I'm very sick and very stressed out, malnourished, it's going to be a lot easier for me to get that virus and then have that virus grow in my body instead of my body fighting it off. I am not a doctor or any kind of medical professional, but these are things that I have read. So I think it's a somewhat common knowledge, which I'm surprised that this knowledge isn't being passed around lately, you know, because there is a difference. Of course, you should always do safe sex, but if for some reason you didn't, you know, there's a few things that you could do to maybe help your chances. You don't just give up. Let's see. I want to go to talk about my brain. I'm going to sign off soon because I wasn't feeling good. I didn't get dressed. Brain fog. My concussion doctor told me to take Q-enzyme 10, which I have not been taking. It's an enzyme which helps a lot with muscle. And I'm not sure why it's good for the brain, but I should probably go take more of it. So meditation is amazing for your brain because it's teaching you to focus. And when you rule your brain and not your brain rule you, you have very superior position in wellness and many other things. Your brain's a lot more clear. There's actually really cool meditations on doing, you know, brain activation. I used to do them sometimes with certain clients that I was doing brain retraining with. Did a lot of Joe Dispenza meditation, a lot of brain retraining. Thank God now, just look up neural retraining. You can find lots of stuff. The most important thing is to be diligent and not just do it once or twice or for a week or for a month and think it's supposed to work. Sometimes things take a really long time. I did the listening meditation for maybe 9 months and I still was kind of terrible at it. But what I did notice was that I could really hear things. Like now when I talk to somebody, I can hear what's in their voice. I can hear them, I can really hear their mood, you know, like deeply. Like you don't have to, if I hear a voice, like even somebody who's doing a presentation on the internet or whatever, like sometimes you can feel a lot of things. You can hear a lot of things in their voices. So I trained my hearing good. I used to love doing this Muay Thai and kickboxing, which I just started back today. I had a student. But when you're doing with another person, very good for your focus, very good for your brain. You know, watching TV and being passive is not good for your brain. I think that's one reason so many people just are not really using their intelligence that much these days. People are just going along, with ideas that they got because they were passively, sitting back and listening to things that don't make you think. Maybe you do like what I say, maybe you don't, but I'm sure a few of the things are going to make you think like, what would happen if I did that? What would happen if I started meditating? What would happen if I started getting a good amount of oxygen or doing Wim Hof breathing? What would happen if I get a red light? Causing your mind to function, So chemical sensitivity, I read this and I believe it's true, is your brain is 100 to 1,000 times more than the average person perceiving smells, which if you have chemical sensitivity, it's true. Like now I don't really have it anymore. Now I still have a better sniffer than the average person, but it's not like a super smell. I can't smell one little fabric softener, 20 feet away, which I used to could. So it's a lot of it. Part of it does have to do with the brain, and that's why most people, as far as I know, who do have a chemical sensitivity, you need to do neural retraining to get your neural pathways connected in a new way so that it's not smelling and reacting to chemicals even after your body has detoxed. That's what I found. I knew after a while I got rid of a lot of toxins out of my body. It was the brain was still perceiving the toxins and getting really scared. And whenever you get really scared, it's not good for your health. All right. Do you have any other questions, Bill Gates? Are you still there? I can answer a few questions, but other than that, I'm going to sign off early. I just wanted to be here because I said I would. Yeah, look, my glasses are dirty. Like this is this is the me that just got out of the shower. All right. You can follow me on Facebook. Look for me at Detoxing the Body, Multiple Chemical Sensitivity, and Help with Multiple Chemical Sensitivity. I did spell multiple wrong. I'm the queen of typos. And the thing is, if you have a group with more than 700 people, you can never change the name. So I will have to have the typo forever. Hit like to my video, please. Hit subscribe. I see there's 2 people on now. So hit like and subscribe. And please ask me some questions. I know another person came on. Maybe they left. But I'm just going to do a little Q&A. But yeah, basically, my brain is really hurting. I don't really know a lot about the spine and the bones, which I know a lot about the gut, the brain, the immune system, different organs. But that's what I learned when I got this injury, that I don't know much about the spine. I never had a back ache in my entire life, and I don't know that much about the muscles. I never really had those issues. So do things that's good for your brain. That's all I have to say. Kickboxing, any kind of thing that's different. Like my parents were like, oh, crossword puzzles is good for your brain. But, if you do it every day, it's not good for your brain. You have to switch it up. One thing's amazing for your brain, your neuroplasticity, is just doing things in a different way. Watch this show. It's Seinfeld. It used to be on Daily Motion. Google, put in like Seinfeld, George does the opposite. And then put in 20 minutes for length and video. And then you're going to have this show come up, which really changed my life. It's sort of my religion. So George decided that everything he was doing in his life was just making, he's like, I'm broke. I live with my mom. No women will date me. I have no job. He says, everything I've always done is obviously wrong. So he has this plan where he's just going to do the opposite. And so I was like, well, I'm going to do that, because if we keep doing the same actions, we're going to keep getting the same results, which is why, if we have an illness, we really need to change a lot of things about ourselves. And the more things we can change, the better, because sometimes we never know what it's going to be. That's the thing, that really helps us. We can always change back. But most people, especially the older they get, they do the same things in the same way every day. Like, you can call your friend. I could call my friend and be like, hey, do you want to go out and get some like pastries? I know what she's going to say. Nah, I can't. I got to walk my dog. Right? Like, we all have this. And if somebody calls me, they're going to know what I'm going to say. Might be like, no, I'm working right now. So try to, instead of having the same habitual thoughts, this is actual neural retraining. This is, everything you do is going to go into your neural retraining. So just try to not have your habitual response, because mostly we just say the same answer to the same thing. We think we like this, we think we don't like that, but you know what? Maybe we could try something different. Maybe we could just not automatically say no or reject things, or maybe we could just do something different like George Costanza did. It's the funniest issue. It's the funniest episode. So he's like, well, every day I get chicken salad, with coffee. He's like, today I'm going to have tuna salad with tea, on pumpernickel toast. So he switches it up. And then there's this gorgeous woman across the way who's staring at him. And George's friends are like, hey, George, go talk to her. She's staring at you. And he's like, why would she want me? I'm a bald, fat man with no job. I live with my parents. And he's like, no, wait a minute. I'm going to do the opposite. So he goes over and he's very confident. He's like, I noticed you were staring at me, What's up with that? And she goes, oh, well, I noticed you ordered the same thing that I did. It's very funny. They started dating. But he just, instead of being the normal George, he's this completely opposite. It's amazingly hysterical, but it's also really true. To me, it's one of the most brilliant TV shows ever made. So if you have the habit of always watching TV or always doing whatever it is, try doing something else. And you're going to notice your brain and yourself is going to resist, We like to just be in our passive sort of states. We're very comfortable with knowing, what we always going to do. Let's just try it. Very good for brain retraining. I am a sort of a stealth person. You can get these really boring CDs and listen to them every day. I don't know what's on them, because when I had chemical sensitivity, I didn't have the money to do it. And also it used to really make me angry that, oh, you have the answer to my chemical sensitivity, but I have to pay $400 for your CDs and then swear to never discuss it with anyone. So I made my own program, which worked probably even better than theirs, because I got well and I've gotten other people well. So, and the problem with these programs is that, one, it's probably really boring, sit there and I don't know what they do. You have to do stuff that's fun. Otherwise, you're not going to do it. You have to sustain whatever program you're doing long enough until you get well. So if it's really boring, or it doesn't taste good, or it's too much work, or it's too expensive, it's not workable. But you could do George as the opposite. Okay, I'm not going to think the same thing anymore. That's going to change your neural pathways. That is brain retraining. Let's see, because I'm going out tonight. Sometimes I don't want to go out, and I'm like, wait a minute, why am I so rigid? We need to be flexible in our mind. I'm like, I think I'll go out and do this with these people that I don't normally do. I don't have to be the same me. And that has been an amazing journey for me to do things differently. I had changed a lot. And thank God, you get tired of being the same old person after, year after year. At least I did. So you're really broadening your possibilities. It's like having a more flexible body is, there's more things you can do. I can jump over this wall outside my house and do it all the time just because I can, There's so many more things you can do. A lot of people, especially in the chemical sensitivity world, I don't even want to say anything. How there's some people are just you'll say oh, hey, I got this, You know, I put like I was on a board today and they're like, oh, you know, what's a good thing to use? My mom was using Comet. Now I had a terrible reaction. And before we just used baking soda, you know, what could I do? So I answered, so I'm promoting my channel a little bit. I want everyone to come. I want everyone to get well. So I was like, hey, use Bonami. You know, it's non-toxic, you know, for the most part. It's non-toxic. You know, people always yell at you on these chemical sensitivity things because everybody's brain is so hyper alert. Everybody's so hyper vigilant. Everybody's so like angry. And if you're on there, at least enough percentage of it that you really get that a lot. I myself also was that way, and I still am that way sometimes. I really have some personality problems. I do, and I'm working on them. You know what? We're not all Miss Congeniality, right? But I'll notice it's very distinctive in the chemical sensitivity world. Like this very hyper defensiveness. What defensiveness is just always putting up a shield, always putting up a shield, always putting up a shield. So I copied and pasted Bonami, which is just feldspar. Some of it has essential oil. Oh, right, essential oil. If you have chemical sensitivity, you can never use essential oil. Well, that's not true. Like some people can, some people can, which is also why I don't want to get into too much stuff about chemical sensitivity. Like every time I posted on my Facebook, you know, somebody would just refute, complain, get angry. Now I don't think my Facebook posts even make it out into the world. I think the way that Facebook is, I owe them some money, and I don't know if I'm shadow banned or what, but it's not a very good way to get information out. Plus, you know, I used to be sensitive when people were mean. Now I don't really care. I used to hurt my feelings, but now it doesn't. Because I know, you know what, it's not me. It's just that's how we react when we have this. A lot of times we're on hyper alert. We're not feeling good. We're irritable. It's just the way it is. So here's the thing. So it is a thing with chemical sensitivity, this defensiveness. There are some people in there like Charlene. There are people out there who are just like salt of the earth, kind. They really have good communication skills. But by and large, most people don't. Even to this day, sometimes I want to get arguing on Twitter or something, and I just have to stop myself. Like, is this really what I need to do with my time? That said, so you're all busted for having very habitual brain states, which are on the very much hyper alert. So I do believe it is very much a factor in most chemical sensitivity. It was very much a factor in mine. I had all kind of PTSD. Just, you know, and even just having those chemicals, it makes you so sick that it is a traumatic. Whenever you just even have to think about a chemical, you're like, ah! So you do want to avoid chemicals, and you do want to find every way not to get them in your life. But then once you're detoxing, you're more healthy. You know, you have to like learn how to not react instinctively with like, oh my God, I'm going to die, you know, because guess what? After a while, when you get well, you are not going to die. You can actually smell that thing and like, hey, I'm okay. You know, that brain retraining took a while. So what it is just like George Costanza doing the opposite. You just notice your habitual thinking, whether it be with chemicals, whether it be with anything that you do. This is amazing because like lots of the yoginis are coming out with this now, the yogas, the meditators, this amazing book, The Untethered Soul, all these amazing books, these success books. You know, or not, it's not really a success book. It's more of a happiness book. But they're really telling, you know what, you know, let's consider our reactions. You know, let's not just be in our little rut. You know, they have like grutas, you know, like ruts are in our actual brains. They're called, that's the neural pathways. And so it's like a rut, you know, that a carriage is going to go in. In Spanish is like carriles, you know, it's a much easier word because it's more visual. So you have these ruts. Your thought path is going to go in there the same every time. Like say you meet somebody, they make you mad every time. It's because your thoughts are reacting the same way every time. So you just got to try to react a little different. It's very hard. I mean, you know. But once you have more range, you have more neural connectivity, so you're not just in the same rut. Your brain's going here, there, and you're able to consider more and use the frontal lobe. When we're in defensive mode, we're not using this frontal part at all. When we're stressed out, we're not using it. That's why, I don't know about you, but when I used to have chemical reactions, when I had multiple chemical sensitivity, you just kind of get super stressed out and just lashing out and whatnot, get really panicked because your frontal lobes are not working. And the frontal lobes is the lobes that are reasoning things out, thinking things out. That's why if somebody comes up to me real angry and starts yelling at me, my friend Molly Rupert laughed at me so hard because I had this guy, I was doing a painting project. I'm an artist, a mural on the street, and just started yelling at me. And I said, excuse me, but my frontal lobes don't work when you're yelling at me like that. I cannot have this conversation. She still laughs about it to this day. She thought it was so funny, but I just was very matter of fact. Just like, you're yelling at me, I can't do a conversation because you're putting me into the flight or fight mode. So you need to get those frontal lobes working as much as you can, which is why the untethered soul is very good. Whenever you get stressed, you get sad, you get a bad emotion, you're supposed to like breathe in and soften your heart and soften your face and think about it differently. It's a pretty amazing book. It's really, really good, especially if you have a lot of problems, because you know what it's like. Sometimes we get ideas of what we're supposed to be, very successful, very popular, very this, very that, but it's not, when you think about it in a relative way that he has you think about things, it's totally relative. It helped me a lot let go of popularity. Sometimes I used to feel like I'm not popular and people don't like me and blah, blah, blah. It's my repetitive stuff from my childhood. And then when I get to let go of that, you're like, oh, you know what? I'm not really put on this earth to be popular. It's not really my main cause in life. I mean, it's always nice, but I've had a lot of free time, in my introverted lifestyle. And now I can go be popular a little bit when I want to. But, sometimes we just have ideas. They're automatic. They're implanted in us from society, from childhood, from traumas. And so the thing is to not react. We try not to react. And every time you don't react and you act, you're creating new neural pathways. If you do meditation and visualization, this is an amazing way to really create new neural pathways, because when your brain is in a relaxed state, it's way easier to make those pathways. That's why when I was healing in the beginning, I used to do creative visualization, or Joseph Clough, manifesting goals, like things that could get me stuff, because I liked imagining really great stuff, because my life was pretty much sick and broke. And so that's great. There's so many ways to change your brain. Find the ones you like. That's the thing. You don't have to get like my CD or my thing. You can come do yoga with me. You can hire me to do yoga and meditation. But maybe you don't like this one kind of meditation. Maybe this one person's voice gets on your nerves. Maybe this kind of yoga is too hard. Maybe it's too easy. So a lot of healing, if you have a chronic illness, is to find your own way. Because you have to find a way that you enjoy. If you don't enjoy it, you're not going to do it. Like, I don't know. All right, I got to go. I got to go get dressed. And I am feeling a lot better. I was very upset how much my head hurt. Ow. And then my hand's getting a little numb again. So we can all get well. I mean, that's why I want to say that on all the MCS boards, but I will be banned. So if you can share my videos with people, anyone can come in. You can ask me any question. I give you a non-medical answer because I don't have a doctor degree, but I do know myself. I have read a lot, and I have also worked with other people that got well. So We can give some tips that might help and no tips that would hurt. I'm not telling anyone not to see a doctor. Doctors are amazing. You know, I'm not like super anti-doctor. It's easy to get on the anti-doctor thing too when you read tons of health stuff on the internet. And then I also learned, I was on there so long, I learned a lot of it's not even true either, you know. Like no illness can stay in an alkalized body state. Well, that's not true. What is true is that your body's going to have a lot more oxygen in it when it's alkalized, and it's going to be a lot better for fighting off your illnesses. But, you know, people come out with these statements because it's making them money, or maybe they just really believe in their statements, or maybe they read it somewhere else. I've even done that, you know. So I'm not a professional. You always have to really weigh and do your own investigation. All right. Hey, send me some money on my Cash App, or at least hit the likes, make a comment. I've been helping people for a really long time. I still am helping people. I love helping people, and I get very excited when I see people getting well, when I see people feeling better, when I see people looking great. It's really wonderful. All right, 31 minutes. Come back tomorrow. I'm going to try to do every day. I'm just going to go and go and go until see if I get some kind of a good following. Some people are watching my videos, not a huge amount, but you know, I only work for free for so long. I need to get like 1,000 hours of viewing time. Nope, 4,000 hours to get my YouTube channel monetized again. Isn't that crazy? So I have like 1 million hits, but that's not good enough for them. I have to get like trillions more hours so I can even hit like a super chat button or, you know, get money for ads. So buy my red light. Oh my God, it's the best product. If you do get any kind of terrible illness, it will cure it. Just look down and click below on the red light. It's worth investigating. Drink clean water. Go outside. Make a decision that you are important. The most important thing is to realize that your life is the life you were given, not your kids, not your husband, not your wife. It's like, in the end, it's just up to you. I'm going to get well. I'm going to do whatever I have to take to get well. If I have to meditate an hour a day, if I have to do yoga an hour, if I have to go sit in nature by a river 4 times a week, you know, just do it, because your life is really the only thing that you have. If you are not well, you can't ever help anyone. You can't make money. You can't give love, you know. So it's one of the big things I see too in people that don't get well is that they don't really understand that concept of putting yourself first. Because, you know, when we grow up, nobody says, hey, kid, put yourself first. You know, they're basically like want you to do stuff, you know, for them or to fit into society or whatever. And our sense of self is not that strong. But think about this, like you want to survive. When you get well, way down the line or weeks or months from now, then you can take that extra time and that extra energy. You can help all your friends and family. You can make tons of money. You can do whatever you want. But when you're sick, it's your body, it's your soul, it's yourself saying, hey, you know, I need love, I need care, I need to be the #1 priority. All right, put comments in there. I don't know if I'm terrible at this or good. I don't watch them too much because it's embarrassing for me. But I think I think I could get good at this. What do you think? Smash the likes, put a comment, help me out, send money, share with friends, whatever. All right. I'm very happy you're here. And I have a lot of different videos on different topics. This is mostly on the brain because my brain was really hurting today. The brain needs a lot of help sometimes. Ciao.